Some paranormal activities can haunt you, and in this video, we will talk about that only. We will talk about the most scary ghost videos that will give you nightmares. This video is from TikTok. The owners of this house were worried as whenever they used to come back home from work, they used to find their house had been a mess. Luke knew someone was there, and he tried to turn the whole place upside down. They filed a complaint, but as nothing had gone missing, cops convinced them not to worry. But when this behavior repeated for several days, they got tired and decided to install cameras around the house. And what they caught on camera blew their mind. It looked pretty normal at first when they were going through the footage, but then it started to go all crazy. Later on in the video, they saw things falling on their own. First, a showpiece fell from the shelf. A few seconds later, a vase also falls from the entertainment console. And that's not it. A lamp was also thrown away. On the other camera that they placed in the kitchen, they saw that a drawer was opened on its own. We can also hear the sounds of things falling, like someone is going around the house and making a mess out of things, when in reality, there isn't a single person in the house. At last, we can see in the kitchen footage that some things were being thrown from the drawer, and then the door closes up slightly, like someone was in the kitchen just left, and it was trying to close the door behind. This video is also from TikTok, and it happened when the man was feeding his baby. It was just a normal day in his life. He was doing what he used to do every day. He was feeding his cute little newborn, but then something paranormal happened. There was a knock on his balcony door, which is on the first floor. In this video, we can see that there is a shadow or outline of someone who is knocking. Then that person goes behind the door, and the door also gets open. So we can see that no one is running away. Then the man picks up the baby to go and check, but what he saw was unbelievable. He went out and looked behind the door, and there was no one. He checks everywhere but isn't able to find anyone. He then calls his wife and tells her everything. Account to the one who filmed it. There was the paranormal activity for a long time, but after the baby was born, he started to see physical manifestations of these paranormal figures. In another video, his wife was able to catch this figure staring at the baby from a closet. Now, this video was recorded on a whim. Two people were traveling in their car, and they were just going to their destination. But in the middle of their route, they encountered an abandoned village of sort. There weren't many houses, just a few of them, and the road was also empty. There were no streetlights, and the street at it was pretty dark, to be exact. From the start of this video, you get a spooky vibe. Like something weird is going to happen. At the start, I thought that there would be a spirit or something that we will see walking down the road, but oh boy was I wrong. The people were traveling in their car, and the suspense gets built up as they went further and further. There is just a weird vibe that you can't put your finger on. Finally, they stop in front of a house. At first glance, it looks like a normal abandoned house, but then as they turn on the light and focus on the window, they see something that should not be there. You see what appears to be a child, but he doesn't look normal. As soon as he notices the people in the car, he vanishes. It was enough to make the people lose their shit. They decided to run, and it was probably the best decision they made in the whole day because we have no idea what would have happened if they had tried to push their luck. Now this video was a shocker for me too. It was like I was expecting something else and totally got something else. This video went viral on TikTok and had millions of views. It's a footage from an infrared security camera, as it was night, so the video is not that clear. There's a lot of white in it, but it is clear enough for anyone to see. In the video, we can see that the person who is recording this is also in shock. In the video, we see a figure walking on the sidewalk. Now, this figure looks like a female, and at first glance, you will think that it is a human only, and that something weird is about to happen to this poor lady. But that would be the wrong perception. We see that this figure continues to walk on the sidewalk, and nothing at all is happening. I was on my toes while watching it, as I was waiting for something to happen. Then, we see that the figure reaches the end of the sidewalk and takes a turn toward the house. And as soon as it takes a turn and walks like 2 steps, it vanishes into thin air. The figure that we were thinking was a human was a spirit all along. It's especially spooky if you think that you can meet spirits, and you won't be able to figure out whether they are human or spirits. Now let that thought sink in. The following video is from an English castle. Inside the castle, a few guests were filming themselves. They were recording a video when they heard a noise. Someone was heard coming down the stairs. However, they were unable to observe anything when they went there to investigate, when all of a sudden, they noticed something. Astonishing them was something they even managed to capture a shadow moving down the steps on the camera. The frightening part was that nobody was there. All that could be seen was the shadow moving down the steps. The shadow descended the steps and then began to move in the hallway next to the stairs. These individuals could only see the shadow of the person who was walking down the corridor because they were unable to see anything else. These individuals could also hear weird, strange noises, and the shadow swiftly vanished into the hallway shadows. And the moment that shadow vanished, the lights began to flicker. So if you enjoy seeing historical castles, do you want to go see one right now? Remember, in one of the previous videos, we talked about how dogs can see these paranormal things. Well, here is one more piece of proof. The man who recorded this video was just sitting at his house, and he decided to record as his dog was behaving weirdly. He saw this fog come out of a dark room, and then just sit there while looking towards the room. And as we can see, the dog also barked a little, like something was in that room. But then we see there is a pair of glowing eyes that are staring at the man and dog. And then suddenly, as the dog was barking, these eyes disappeared. But the dog didn't move from its position. It looked like the dog was scared to go in. And then we figured out why. The strange pair of eyes came back and kept on watching the dog and the man again. The dog is also getting all tensed up and acting weird. The way the dog was afraid of that room and the way he acted up so easily could tell anyone that something was wrong. The following video comes from an unidentified source, but it depicts one of the most horrible human tragedies. In this video, we can see a young woman sitting in what appears to be a cafeteria-like space. When something strange occurs, she is casually browsing her phone. You watch as she is knocked out of her chair by someone pushing her firmly. Then it becomes apparent that she is attempting to hide. A thing that none of us can see. She again tries to flee, but is once more knocked to the ground. And this time, all the furniture is also scattered about. She tries to flee again, but appears as though something is repeatedly pounding her to the ground. She collapses on the ground after that. We are unable to confirm whether or not this is true, because we do not know the specifics of when or where it occurred. We will thus leave it up to you to determine if this is a phony show or a ghost show. These were the horrifying videos I was able to find. Now, are these videos real, or is it just some camera trick? I will leave that to you to decide. Do let us know your opinion in the comments, and we will see you at the next one.